Hi guys, Anna from Barracudas here, and today we have got a yoga video for you. Anyone can do this, you can do it from any age, so grab your siblings, parents, anyone to do it with you. Should be really quite exciting. Do make sure that your area is really clear and there's nothing to trip over. And that you are being sensible with the movements, and if anything does start to hurt for any reason, then do just take a sit back or try and adapt the stretch so that then it's better for you. Okay, right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a bit of a warm up. That's really important because we're using our muscles quite intensely when we're doing yoga stretches, so we want to make sure that they are ready for all that movement. So what I would like to do is, you can do this sat down. To start with, I would like you to put your arms out like this. Oh, I'm going to do that. And I would like you to just move them around about the size of tennis balls. Okay, now can you go the other way? So now you're pushing backwards with your arms. My circles are slightly bigger. I'm starting to go up to kind of basketball size circular movements. Now, even more of a challenge, I want you to move your arms forward into kind of beach ball circles, and you should really feel that in your shoulders now. I'm starting to engage, warming up that back. Okay, now we're going to take our right arm and we're going to push this, grab our elbow and push this behind our back. And then we're going to do the same on the other side, so we can go back to this big stretch, and then we're going to grab our other elbow with our other arm and push that behind our back, and we should feel that stretch all the way down this bit of our arm here. Amazing. Alright, back to this massive bird movement, and we're going to bring our right arm again, but this time across our body. Bringing our other arm up across our elbow to stretch out this muscle here called a tricep. Amazing. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Right, so our shoulders should be feeling pretty good right now. So now we're going to move on to our neck. So pretty much the same thing, although we've got to be sensible with this because our neck can't quite move as much as our shoulders. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a circle all the way round. Give me a really cool owl. Okay, and then we're going to go back the other way. So I can't remember which way I went, but you're going to go the other way. And then we're going to do the same to our shoulders, so we're going to move these back. And then move these forward. And then finally, before we start our movement, we're going to stand up. Just going to move the camera so you can see me. And we are going to, not that way, we are going to wiggle our legs. And then pull this up into a lovely, lovely Superman stretch. Okay, if you're feeling a little bit wobbly like I am, then what you can do is you can either grab your ear or you can find a place in front of you and stare at that point. Brilliant. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, so we're going to do that circular movement, engage in our hip, and then we're going to hold onto our foot and stretch up into that Superman pose. So I'm a little bit less wobbly on this side. I'm still going to hold on to my ear. I'm going to stare at that point above me, and then I'm going to let my foot go. Right, well done guys. Wiggle of the hips, ready for our movement. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start by having our feet just above hip width apart. Our hips are here, so we kind of want to make sure that we're just an extra step after they are straight in line with our hips. So it should be kind of a bit like this. You can check your partner. or anyone doing it with you if you're not quite sure. Okay, then you're going to take your hands and you're going to move them up as high as you can. And I want you to feel that stretch all the way through your back, all the way through your arms and all the way through your legs. This is called mountain pose because your bottom bits, the bottom legs are really, really strong, and then you come into a really, really tall point, just like a mountain. Amazing. Okay, once we've done that, what we're going to do is we are going to move our arms back down, and we're going to put our leg out. This is where we're moving into something called warrior pose. And warrior pose is a really, really strong movement. I imagine it just before we're about to start kind of karate. Okay, so we are going to make sure that our foot is this, our left foot is diagonally out, and then our right foot is bent and is facing the front. Okay, so we have one leg facing this way and our other kneecap facing the opposite direction. Okay, and what's really important here is our foot and our knee is in line with each other. Now, once we've got used to that, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our right arm up and over to face the other side. Brilliant. Should feel really good stretch up this leg here, and even a little bit of a stretch in this leg here. Well done. Okay, now to develop this stretch further, we are going to move all the way round, but this time we're going to take this arm and we're going to put it all the way down to our foot on that side. And then we're going to lift our arm up and stretch it over, but making sure that this elbow is pushing into our knee. Brilliant. Okay, I'm hoping you're feeling that all the way in your legs. If not, you can go a little bit lower or bend that leg a little bit more. Once you've done that, I want you to come back up to middle, and you should have this kind of like triangular pose now. And instead of bending back into this side, what we're going to do is we're going to bend the other way. So we're now pulling our arm down our other leg. Now this, you should feel this all the way down that inside of that leg there. Gonna be so flexible by the end of this. Amazing. Okay, and then back up to centre. So that was our right side stretch really well. So now we're going to do the same on our left side. So swapping our legs over, we're going to have this one, turn that one to face this wall, and we are going to bend it so that it is in line. I'm just going to move back a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm making sure my kneecap is really in line with my toes. Okay, and similarly you should then start to feel that stretch down the inside of that leg. What's really important about this foot that you can't quite see is the foot is pointing this way, so towards where you guys are. So whereas this foot is pointing that way, you need to make sure that this foot is pointing towards you. Amazing. Right, so hoping you remember what we did on the other side. What we're going to do is we're going to take this arm and we're going to pull it over. Again, start to feel that stretch down both sides. And then to develop it, what we're going to do is we're going to put our arm down to the floor and then continue up that way. It's kind of nice being this wonky, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay, and back to that triangular pose. So now we should feel extra warrior-y. One last one like this. We're then going to stretch to the other side and stretch over. Again, feeling that stretch down the inside of that other leg. Brilliant. Well done, guys. Give your legs a little shake out. Okay, so now we're going to come down and we're going to sit on the floor. For this you might need a little soft something. I've got a mat, but you could use a blanket or you could use a cushion. It depends what you've got lying around your house. Okay, so what you're going to do for this one is you're going to come, I'm going to show you side on so you can see what I'm doing with my tummy. So you're going to come onto your all fours and then you are going to take a massive breath in and stretch your back so that it's a really curved, really curved. Okay, now with that breath that you've got inside your tummy, and now I want you to breathe out and pull your tummy in so you've got the opposite direction. And then the same, you're going to bring it out and then breathing out through so that your tummy is pointing the opposite way. One more time, breathing in and then breathing out. Now, once we've done this, we're going to come and sit on our feet. Okay, and we're going to bring our arms and we're going to put them behind us as much as we can. I'm going to push our hips up and we should feel a stretch all the way down our backs. Now, I'm sure some of you might even be able to get your arms all the way back. And this is the beginning of something called bridge pose. You might have done it at school, where you are basically an upside down bridge. It's really cool, but it's starting to stretch those muscles all the way down. I can't do it all the way, but I'm sure some of you will be able to. Amazing. Okay, then coming round, face on your front. You're going to take a seat, and this is where we become frogs, because it's something called lotus pose, which is something that frogs love to do and probably very good at it. For this, we're going to bring our feet together like this, okay, and just to start with, we're just going to boing our legs like this. Should feel quite fun. So you can rock kind of some side to side, or you can just move them both at the same time. Okay, now when you're ready, what I would like you to do is push your legs down as much as you can, and the goal is to get them all the way to the floor. Now you can pause this video now and stay in this pose as long as possible to see if you can manage it, or you can stay like me and just carry on moving your legs up and down because it's quite fun. Brilliant. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to move out that one and we're going to come onto our knees. We're going to push our arms forwards into a big stretch and we're going to bring our bum back to our feet. Right, hopefully your back should feel absolutely amazing now. Can you come up so that you're standing on your knees and then fall to the side so that you land on your bum. Once you're on your bum, shuffle so you have enough room and then come to land on your back. Pull your right knee up and I want you to pull it as close to your chest as you possibly can. Now some people will be able to manage to get all the way to their chest. So just do this for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hopefully you had a lovely stretch all the way down the front bit of this leg. Okay, now we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to pull this chest as close as we can to our to our chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant, and release. So that should have stretched all the top bits of our muscles in our legs. And just as a final stretch, we're going to grab our hand and put it on the base of our foot. We're then going to push our legs up and they're going to rock side to side. This pose is called a happy baby, and I think it's because it's probably their favourite position, because they can just rock back and forth, and babies are way more flexible than adults or children are, so they probably find it a lot more easy than we do. Brilliant, guys. Hopefully that was a bit of fun and no one toppled over, but if you did, you're obviously rocking a good amount. Okay, bring your feet back down, and that is the end of our stretching, but just going to finish with some breathing. So you can either be doing this lying down or sat up. I'm going to set this up so you can see what I'm doing, but you can really do either. Now, breathing is really important in yoga because while stretching helps our muscles relax, the breathing helps us relax. And actually, when both are relaxed, we're recovering and getting ready for more sport quicker and easier, and preventing kind of injury and helping us feel calmer. So it has a lot of benefits. So what I would like to do is put your hands on your tummy, and I want you to breathe in kind of the size, imagine you're filling in your tummy a ball the size of a tennis ball. So just a little breath, really. And breathe out. Now I would like you to breathe in the size of a netball, so a bit of a bigger breath here. And breathe out. Okay, now this is the big challenge. I want you to breathe in the size of a beach ball. And breathe out. Oh, see, we didn't quite pop that beach ball because we didn't breathe in fast enough. So we're going to have to go again. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And breathe out. I'm just going to do that one more time. As much air as you can breathe in into your tummy. 3, 2, 1. And breathe out. Brilliant, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. Do replay some of your favourite bits, and you can use these as part of other stretches that you're doing at home. Even if you just do the breathing before you go to sleep, or if you want to relax before you do something, then it's a really good idea. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye!